Thank you so much to Disney Emoji Blitz for sponsoring today's video. You can go ahead and download the game for free using the link below on a mobile device or tablet. I'm also hosting my own sweepstakes where I'll be giving away a $25 Amazon e-gift card to one lucky winner, so stay tuned to the end to find out how to win. Disney Emoji Blitz is unlike any other match 3 game on the market. Each emoji has its own unique power-up and you control what to use, offering a strong layer of strategy to each game that you play. My favorite emoji is Nemo because he sends a swarm of Nemo emojis across your screen to help better your score, and he is just so cute. If you're a collector like me, you will definitely love this game. It has a huge collection of Disney, Pixar, and even Star Wars emojis. New characters are added each month, sometimes each week, with lots of different emojis in different categories like silver, gold, rainbow exclusive, as well as story and villain emojis. You can even send the emojis that you earn in-game to your friends over text. I think that this is the coolest feature of the game. It is so much fun to send these emojis to my friends. They're always like, where did you get these? And the answer is Disney Emoji Blitz. One last thing, I will be giving away a $25 Amazon e-gift card to one lucky winner. All you have to do to enter is download Disney Emoji Blitz using my link down below, get to level 20 in the game and take a screenshot of you on level 20 or higher, and tag me on that screenshot on either Twitter or Instagram at newhurizons. The winner of this giveaway will be picked on October 13th, so be sure to enter while you have time. In addition, the link below acts as a creator code, so anything you spend in-game will help support me. Thank you again so much to Disney Emoji Blitz for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get to it. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Tiger and I post Animal Crossing content here on YouTube like Let's Plays, villager hunts, and builds. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if that's something you would like to see more of. I also have some really cute merch available. You guys should totally get some. You can check the description of this video for my shop. Today we are going to look at the entire history of the Animal Crossing game series from the original Animal Forest to the most recent New Horizons. I have played my fair share of these games, but there are some that I have never played or even seen gameplay from. This got me curious to do some research on the earlier games in the series, and I thought I would take you guys along with me on the journey. New Horizons has brought a massive amount of new fans to the Animal Crossing franchise, including some of you, and I thought that you might like to hear more about the game's history. This is information that I found online, but if there's something I'm missing, something that's incorrect, or something that you guys would like to add, feel free to add your comments below. I would also like to add that this video was highly inspired by the Sims YouTuber Plumbella and their History of series. Before we can look at the history of Animal Crossing, it's important to know what is Animal Crossing. According to the wonderful and very reliable website of Wikipedia, Animal Crossing is a social simulation game series developed and published by Nintendo. Let's go back to 2001 when the very first Animal Crossing game was released in Japan for the Nintendo 64. The game was first known as Animal Forest but later called Animal Crossing or Animal Crossing Population Growing when released in North America in 2002. This game is not much different than its newer versions. It has the real-time 24-hour clock, the Able Sisters, fishing and bug catching, and you still owe money to Tom Nook. Tom Nook is a tanuki who in this game is a storekeeper. You start the game on a train across from Rover, you're on your way to a new place, and once you get there, Tom Nook offers you a house and hires you to help pay off your debt. We also see other familiar characters in this game like Blathers, Rossetti, Franklin, Gulliver, and more. Now there was not a multiplayer feature in this game, and many players remember switching memory cards and taking turns to visit each other's towns. Apparently, you could also use cheat codes to obtain bells and other advancements. Fast forward a few years and we see the release of Animal Crossing Wild World for Nintendo DS in 2005. This game was also known as Animal Forest Come On Over in Japan. Not much changes from the original previous Animal Crossing game, but we do see a lot of improvements. Wild World did include a multiplayer feature by using Nintendo Wi-Fi connection and was Nintendo's second game to use it. Mario Kart DS was the first. New holidays were added to the game with an international audience in mind. Custom patterns could now be placed on the ground. Most importantly, the villagers were more engaged with the player. They now have more personality, come over to your house, and participate in activities with you. Faye from Twitter said, "All I did was pull weeds, run around, and get yelled at by villagers, and I was having the time of my life." We also see new characters like Celeste, Brewster, and Harriet. There were new bugs, fish, villagers, and hybrid flower breeding was also introduced with this game. Animal Crossing Wild World is definitely a lot more similar to the newer Animal Crossing titles. 3 years later, in 2008, Animal Crossing City Folk, also known as Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City, was released on the Nintendo Wii. The game still maintained its real-time clock and similar storyline. You move to a new place, owe money to Tom Nook, befriend villagers, and revamp the town. Critics during this time actually said it was way too much like the previous games, and after 6 years has passed since the first Animal Crossing release, they expected more differences and newer gameplay. I would argue, and I think many of you would too, that the similarities across the Animal Crossing games are what makes Animal Crossing the amazing game that it is. Most of us fans return to this game each time because we want to experience the nostalgia of our favorite childhood game. There were some different features though, like pro designs and new characters like Pave, Zipper, and Nat that were introduced in City Folk. The best new attraction, in my opinion, was the city. You could ride Captain's bus to the city and visit several shops with familiar characters like Shampoodle with Harriet, Crazy Reds, Gracie Grace, the Fortune Shop, and more. I loved this comment Laura left about City Folk. They said, "One time a villager called me a jerk. I was about 6 at the time and I was so offended." I think we can all agree that the villager dialogue was much more fun in the earlier Animal Crossing games and made for some great entertainment. Animal Crossing New Leaf was released 4 years later in 2012 for the Nintendo 3DS. Now, I did play City Folk before this, but I was really too young to understand the game. New Leaf was the first Animal Crossing game that really pulled me in and turned me into the Animal Crossing fan that I am today. Like many of you, I remember staying up late with my siblings, playing New Leaf, fishing for sharks, decorating my town, and posting pictures of my town on Instagram. Yup, that's right, I had an entire Instagram account dedicated to my New Leaf town. Animal Crossing New Leaf came with a ton of new features and gameplay changes, the most seen since the original Animal Crossing game. We see new characters like Isabelle, Digby, even Leaf, and also Reese and Cyrus. This time around, Tom Nook is not a store manager, but instead a real estate agent. Fitting, right? New Leaf features better graphics and customization ability. The player gets to build new buildings and even set town ordinances. The town ordinances are a feature I would like to see return to the game. You could have a beautiful town, early bird town, night owl town, or a wealthy town, and each ordinance affected the town in a different way. I remember my town always being set to the night owl ordinance. The shops would close later and the villagers would stay up later, and this was perfect for me because I love to stay up late and play. There are also new villager species and personalities with New Leaf, like hamsters and deer, as well as smug and sisterly personality types. We don't see another Animal Crossing game like this until New Horizons in 2020, but we do have some spin-off games released after New Leaf leading up to New Horizons. Happy Home Designer and Amiibo Festival both came out in 2015. Happy Home Designer is exactly what it sounds like, you just decorate houses for villagers. Most of the reviews and comments I've seen about Happy Home Designer over the years haven't been the best, but there are some of you who seem to have really enjoyed this game. I love the decorating aspect in Animal Crossing, so I can definitely see how Happy Home Designer would be fun. I have never played Amiibo Festival, but I've heard it's similar to Mario Party. You can play several different mini games. We also see the release of an Animal Crossing mobile game, Pocket Camp, in 2017. I decided to download Pocket Camp for the first time to see what this game is all about. I was actually pretty surprised by how fun this game is and will probably continue to play it in my free time. I didn't even think you could walk around in Pocket Camp, like I thought it was a flat 2D game. But you can walk around and actually do a bunch of tasks. Basically, you get to choose a campsite, invite villagers over, and craft furniture to decorate your camp with. There are familiar faces like Isabelle, Reese, and Cyrus, and a lot of the Animal Crossing villagers. I got to meet Goldie, and she was so cute in the game. You can interact with the villagers and up your friendship levels, and Pocket Camp is honestly a really good game for those who can't get their hands on a console. In March of 2020, we finally see the release of a classic Animal Crossing title again, Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is 8 years after the release of New Leaf, and boy was the world excited. According to an article I found online, New Horizons makes up almost half of the Animal Crossing sales, having sold 31 million copies in just 9.5 months. New Horizons, in comparison to Animal Crossing's previous titles, features amazing graphics. The characters, settings, and weather are all far more detailed and realistic. New features like terraforming, pole vaulting, Nook Miles, and crafting come with New Horizons, opening a world of Animal Crossing that has never been seen. This time around, players move to an island where they can act as the island representative. There is much more freedom when it comes to island customization, including the ability to cliffscape and waterscape. You can literally transform your island into anything you can imagine. A huge community has been revived and created with the release of New Horizons, and you can find a ton of New Horizons gameplay on my channel if you would like to see more. Now that we've looked at the entire history of Animal Crossing, what do you think comes next? Will we see another Animal Crossing game released in the years to come? Comment down below your opinions and thoughts. I hope that you've all enjoyed this video. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing while you're here. It would help me out a ton. Thank you so much for watching. See you all next time. Bye!